Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. No, hello and welcome to this update video-ish, where I want to talk a little bit about the future of the 24-hour movie marathon. More specifically, as it relates to the incoming decision on Article 13. So there's been a lot of fear-mongering on the internet, in the community, about this this motion that is being potentially passed, and I don't know too much about it, I will wholeheartedly admit, because to me, whatever happens, happens, and you know, we just got to kind of wait to see what the rules are going to be when the rules get laid down. And as of now, it's very much still in the decision-making process, from what I understand. But a lot of people have been very upset about this and have been fearing for their jobs over this, people who make a living via YouTube. And the gist of it is that any copyrighted material you would need to legally own before using, which would render certain videos that we make, you know, essentially illegal, to the point where, you know, YouTube would essentially be shut down in Europe if you were to really take it to that degree. I don't think that it would be that extreme, but at the same time, I feel like, you know, I almost feel like YouTube and the internet over the past kind of 20 years has been kind of like the Wild West. And it wouldn't surprise me to see more rules being enforced, more restrictions being enforced, to the point where it is a lot more strict, because there are certainly the means for which the government could do that. So, if it were to happen, certain things like my movie reviews would be trickier to pull off because of the use of images from the, even just images would be kind of, you know, enough to warrant taking the video down, perhaps. Again, we'll see what happens. And there is all the likelihood in the world that if they decide to push this forward and it works retroactively, then my entire channel would be gone, you know. So I would suggest and recommend, in that case, if you're really worried about this sort of thing, when it comes to the 24-hour movie marathon, to download them if you want to watch them again. But again, I'm really not erring on the side of believing it's going to be this total shutdown that some people think it might be. But I will also accept the possibility that that could be a possibility. So what would that do to the 24-hour movie marathon going forward? Would I then make the 24-hour movie marathon every single year, but not use images from the film, not put the camera anywhere near the movie screen, and not do movie skits anymore because I can't use any music that I don't own myself, and just essentially, you know, make it a little bit more boring visually? The answer is no. I don't want to change a damn thing about the way I make 24-hour movie marathons. I don't make money from them. I don't see any problem in the world in using copyrighted material for them, even when it comes to music and things like that. To be honest, I've always been a bit kind of blatant with that sort of thing. Yeah, I'll use John Williams music, you know. So for me, if this were to pass, I would continue the 24-hour movie marathon every year. But it would be available through other means. Now, this might be difficult to pull off. This would probably cost me money. I would essentially, I think, probably then hold the 24-hour movie marathon video every year. Hold it. I would present it in kind of almost a mail order fashion. So it would be probably something in the vicinity of, if you want it, you can pay me £2 for a Blu-ray disc, and I'll put it on the Blu-ray disc for you and send it to you. Or the more easier option, of course, would be a digital download. So there would be no, you know, restrictions of uploading it to a streaming service where it would be taken down and pulled immediately. But again, I'd need to kind of pay for the bandwidth and, you know, high file size, you know, sharing of that kind as well, and storing that in the bandwidth and all that kind of thing. So for the 24-hour movie marathon, it will continue. And, you know, if they you know, push this forward as soon as they seem to be, then that would come into effect before this year's 24-hour movie marathon 8, and maybe even 24-hour movie marathon Completing Carpenter, my spin-off that's also coming this year. So those would in effect be made as I would always make them, but would have to be acquired by you you'd have to put some effort in, I suppose. And I wouldn't charge for a digital download at all. The only thing the only way money would exchange hands would just be for posting a disc out. But I think that, you know, putting it on a Blu-ray disc is one thing, but a digital download is probably a lot more efficient and easier, but at the same time still a bit of a ball ache and not as simple as just clicking a button and watching it. So it might be a case where the marathon loses a lot of viewers that way, unfortunately. But I have high hopes that it won't be as strict or as totalitarian as people are making out to be, but who knows? Regardless, I just want it to be laid out there for anyone who might question it if this thing goes through. And there is, of course, always the option for me to just use a VPN and, you know, just operate my YouTube channel through an American server, in which case it could work. I don't know. I don't know if these workarounds would be entirely viable. So it's just one of those. This is the hypothetical video, a hypothetical update, really. But I wanted to kind of touch on it, and I felt like touching on it for quite a few months actually. But I just figured I'd get that video out there now, and yeah. So that's pretty much it. And to give you an update on the marathons in general. Marathon 8 will be filmed at the end of March 2019. The rules are already out, by the way, so if you haven't seen those, you can go check out Ryan Chataway's video. I'll leave a link to that at the end of this one. And if you're a video maker on YouTube, I highly urge you to do the marathon. It's a lot of fun. I love seeing other people do it. So if you make a 24-hour movie marathon video, I will definitely watch it and comment, because I just love the thing so much. And 24-hour movie marathon completing Carpenter, where I watch 16 John Carpenter movies and essentially complete my viewing of his entire filmography. That I was planning to get done by April. It might be pushed to May or June as far as the video being done. For my patrons, I will be presenting you with a extended preview of the Completing Carpenter marathon in the next couple of weeks. So you'll be seeing probably like a 30 to 40 minute chunk of that video, selections of it. Usually every year I give my patrons on Patreon the first 20 minutes of that year's 24-hour movie marathon, which I'll still be doing with Marathon 8, but for Completing Carpenter you're going to be getting like a selection of clips throughout the marathon and so on. But I'm excited to share that one and to finish editing it and all that kind of stuff. And then Marathon 8 will probably be released towards the end of 2019, I think. Maybe a bit sooner. We'll see how it goes. There's a lot of things at play, including the fact that we're moving again, which already slowed down Marathon 7 last year when we moved from Norway to the UK. But we'll see where it all goes, where it all heads. But regardless, I wanted to touch on the Article 13 controversy and how it would affect my channel in general. I mean, again, I would do my best to push forward regardless, but the marathon is the one thing that I would be really precious about losing, and I don't intend on losing it. I want to do it every year, forever. So, and I will do. You know, even if I can't, even if there's no way for me to share it, I'd still do it and make the video, you know. But regardless, every year I will make sure, no matter what happens, that you guys will have a way to watch it somehow, some way. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.